Hey ladies, welcome back to my channel, Balk Within Moments with me, Kathy Carswell. Now today, first of all, it's my anniversary. No, not today, but it was my anniversary on August the 17th. And so it's going to be story time, you guys. And I'm going to talk about how my husband and I met. I used to attend Virginia State University, and I was going to visit my friends, and it was homecoming. So I was okay. And my daughter's grandmother was coming to get her, gonna meet me at the dorm, and I was gonna hang out with my friends. You know, that homecoming thing. So, so we get to Petersburg and everything, and my daughter's grandmother came and got her. Now, my daughter at that time, I believe she was like 6 months old, and she came and got her, and I was, hanging out with my friends. And these are my friends that when I first started at Virginia State, I, hung out with them like the very first day. My roommates and other friends, they all knew each other besides me. And so we've been hanging together ever since then. And so we had gotten back together because in my sophomore year, I got pregnant. And so I didn't go back to Virginia State. We was reconnecting with one another. And so I had went to Virginia State for homecoming. And we were deciding where we were going to go. So, of course, we went to the game. And then we went to the fashion show that the Alphas put on every year. And so we went there, and then it was like, okay, what party we're going to go to? And normally, when I was there, we would go to whatever party the school is having. But they were tired of that. So I was like, okay, why did they decide to go to the NCO club? Okay, the NCO club is where, the military is it's the officers club or whatever on a military post. And so I was like, y'all, I'm not interested in no military men. And besides, I'm really not interested in nobody right now. And y'all going to a military post. So they was like, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's something different. I was like, okay. And so I made a whole entire announcement. I'm like, I just had my child. I'm not trying to meet nobody. This is for y'all, and I'm just having fun for y'all. Y'all can get all the men, okay? And so I made my public announcement. And then once we get there, we having a good time. We get on post and everything at Fort Lee. And, we're vibing and everything, having a good time, dancing and everything. So this young man gonna come and dance behind me. I said, okay, we getting down and everything. He looking all fresh in his little Durango boots and everything, and his fresh jeans and stuff. And he had a shirt to match and a buckle. Let me tell you, he was just looking fresh, okay? Anyhow, and so, he was dancing with me. And so then another song came on, and I sat down. And so me and my friends, we were sitting down, we was having little drinks. Y'all, I was younger, okay? Yes, I did have some drinks, okay? All right. And so we had some drinks and everything. And then, he came over there and introduced himself and was like, would I like to dance? And I said, sure. And so we danced some more. And then another song came on, and we kind of like, split apart from each other. And another guy came and danced with me. Why is it that the guy that I was dancing with, he was eyeing me the whole time, like, why you dancing with him? I mean, he was giving me the stank face, like he was my man for real. I'm like, this dude is really giving me the stank face. Anyhow, I finished dancing with the guy I was dancing with. And then I went over back to my friends, and I was like, y'all, he was sitting there giving me this attitude for what? And so he came over there, and he was like, can I buy you a drink? I was like, sure. And then another song came on, and he was like, can I dance with you? I said, yeah. And so while we was dancing, we was talking and everything. Needless to say, we danced the entire night. Me and this one guy. Okay? He did not let me dance with nobody else. Every time somebody else tried to dance with me, he'd slide his way in. I'm like, you really think that you're my guy? So anyhow, we danced the whole night, and my friends was like, God, Kathy, you really did pick you one. I was like, I'm not trying to be with nobody. Anyhow, it was time to leave, and it was like, 1, 2 or something in the morning. And so it was over, and he was like, you want to go out to eat or this and that. I said, no, not right now, it's too late. He was like, well, y'all can come back to my room or whatever. Again, this is on a military post, so, you can go to their rooms or whatever. I said, no. I'm like, I don't know what type of girl he think I might could get down on the floor and everything. You might thought I was going to do something with you that night, but I'm just trying to tell you I was not. I said, no, it's okay. We can meet up some other time. He asked for my number, and I gave him my number, and he said, can you take me out the next day? And so all my friends, they just boosted my head up like, girl, how? First of all, they was like, how did you get somebody? They all single. I was not looking for nobody. And I'm the one to end up with somebody. None of them end up with nobody. I'm like, I don't know. I was not trying. So the next day he came, and we were sitting on the dorm steps, and I was waiting for him. And so he came, he took me to Golden Corral. Again, this is in Hopewell, whatever, Hopewell, Petersburg. I guess what I would say the biggest restaurant at that time was Golden Corral, unless you go into some fast food place. So we went to Golden Corral. So we had a beautiful conversation. Him and his friend was there, and it was just a very pleasant conversation. I was very surprised because, we were just getting down on the floor, and now we're talking about our whole lives. And so, as the time went on, I was like, okay, I have to get ready to go because I have to go back home. And I told him I was just visiting. I did attend Virginia State before, but, now I'm at VCU. And so I was just here visiting. And he was like, oh, I would take you home. And I said, take me home? You're like 30, 45 minutes away. He was like, yeah, no problem. I'll take you home. And, you guys, let me tell you this. I never in life even told somebody they could take me down the street. Not alone, taking me 30, 45 minutes to get to my house. We got to get on the highway, okay? We got to get on 95. I'm like, oh, yeah, you can take me home. Y'all, okay. I know. I was acting a little slow. I understand. And so, I said yes. And so I went back to the dorm, and I told them that, my friend, she was going to take me home originally, but I said, he'll take me home. And for whatever reason, they agreed as well. They were like, oh, yeah, he a good guy, military, got a little career going on and everything. So they agreed. What kind of friend is going to agree to that? I'm just trying to say. But they agreed. So he took me home, and we had a great conversation on the way. But while we were on the way, I was like, we're actually 45 minutes away. Like, this guy got me on the highway. I'm looking at the bushes going by. I'm like, what if he's a killer? What if this? What if that? I'm getting my movies on in my head. And so finally we made it to my house, and, I offered him to come in, and we went into my room. I know what you're thinking, you guys. Like, this girl, she's destined for trouble. And for whatever reason, I just felt comfortable around him, and so we went in my room. And let me tell you, he was the perfect gentleman. He did not touch me. We did not even kiss. We didn't do none of that. We just simply talked, and we talked until 2 o'clock the next, 2 o'clock in the morning. And we ended up in talking about God, and, it was such a holistic conversation. I was like, oh my goodness. And so finally I was like, it's 2 o'clock, you need to leave and everything. And he had to go back to Fort Lee. And so, we gave each other a hug, and he said, I would like to come see you again. I was like, okay. And, when he left, I ran back up the steps and I called my sister. It was 2-something in the morning. I never call my sister 2-something in the morning. She goes to bed early, okay? And so I called my sister, and I said, Tuki, I call her Tuki. I said, I think I just found my husband. And she said, uh-huh. I woke her up out of her sleep. And she's like, okay, well, we'll see how this goes, how it plays out. And I said, yes. I said, oh, I'm sorry for waking you up. And she was like, it's okay. I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad you're happy. Because before then, I was with my daughter's father. He's an all right person, but, he just wasn't for me. And so I was like, I am done. The next person I talk to is going to be my husband, because I'm done messing with y'all men. Can y'all grow up? So anyhow, I said that to her, and so 3 months later, he had proposed to me, and I was like, yes. And he didn't give me a ring originally. We had wanted to get the ring together, but I had went back to his home and met his family and everything. And that was a story into itself. I got to tell that story another time. Because let me tell you, my husband, again, a military guy. I think he was 21 then. And so he didn't finish sowing his little oats. You know what I'm saying? So we had a lot of lessons. Okay. So anyhow, but on the flip side of it, I can tell it was a difference. You know how you with someone and the conversation is different, but yet it's just like this little something like, can you get it together, please? Like, I'm just saying, can you just get your act together? Because you're going to lose me. And so we had those conversations. As a matter of fact, his sister is the reason why I kept on talking to him. Because let me tell you, I was going to leave the joker alone because he hurt my feelings greatly. That's another story time. I ain't going to talk about it right now. So she's the one when I kept on going along with this little guy. Okay? And so we kept talking, and at 3 months, he had proposed to me. And so the minister was like, well, why don't y'all go, through marriage counseling? Because we were young. I was like, 22, 23. He had just turned 21. So, we were young. Although I think I was a little bit more mature because I had a child. I was in school. I was working. Let me tell you something. For y'all folks who got these young babies, let me tell you, you can go to school, you can work, and take care of your baby. That doggone daycare, $400. I had to do that, pay whatever bills I was paying, diapers and all that stuff. You can do it. Okay, that's my tangent for the day. And so we had went to marriage counseling, and that was going pretty good. And so we ended up pushing it back like another 3 months. So we got married between 6 and 8 months after we met. And it was August the 17th, 2002. And it was, actually that day, the day before was kind of horrible because the minister that was supposed to marry us didn't, because he said he just didn't feel right. And he didn't know that my husband had got into some trouble at work, and he wasn't supposed to be, visiting me at that particular time. So that was going on, but we didn't share that. And so he felt uneasy. He was like, something is not sitting well. And that's what was going on. And he didn't know that. So he was like, how about some more counseling? And so we was like, no, we're ready. We had people coming in, and, I already had my dress. It's like we ordered cake, like everything was done, decorations. And so needless to say, my darling, darling, darling sister, Tuki, offered her home to have our wedding there. And also she found the minister that was at my hometown church, St. Paul's Baptist Church. And so he, not Minister Lance, but another minister, I can't think of his name right now, but he ended up marrying us. And so we did get married the same day, but it was just by a different minister. Ever since then, it was just like whatever was going on before we got married. And it wasn't a lot of messiness or anything, but whatever it was, it like all ceased. And he was just like the love of my life. I was like, eating him up, and we just enjoyed each other. So we got married. Then September the 11th happened, 2011. After a fresh marriage, being married like 1 or 2 years or whatever, then that happened. And so, he got deployed. I'm just saying all this to say that in marriage, it takes work. So we went through a deployment because he was in the military. So the Iraqi Freedom War, he was one of the first people, his platoon, as well as, of course, others, was one of the first people that was over there. And, he had to go through that. After he got back, we went through some infidelity things, and that caused, separation within our marriage. and then we got back together. And so we was like on and again, off again, on again, off again. And so some people that know us like 17 years, like, no, y'all had some breaks. Yes, we had breaks, but we never got a divorce like how you do in America and everything like that. We never did that. That's why we're like, we don't got time to be adding when we was together and when we was not. So 17 years we have been together, and it has been a very beautiful moment, because I call all moments, even the ones I don't like, good moments, because how can you learn from it? How can you be able to, share with someone else? So within all those different trials we went through in our marriage, it's like it's brought us together. And one of the biggest trials is, the accident that I've talked about before. From that, like now my husband is quadriplegic. He's paralyzed from the waist down. And so it's like our life is different now. And so we've been through so many things, but in marriage, this is what I want y'all to understand. It take this friction of this man and woman coming together and becoming one. And in that becoming one, you're going to go through some things. And it's going to take some time for you to get to that point of you not letting little stuff bother you. Yes, the bigger things that you need to talk about, you're going to talk about them. But those little things, you're going to leave it alone, because the time is winding, okay? And in order for you to live a long life, you got to leave some things alone, because else who wants to be stressed? So I'm thankful that we're at this point in time of when we just had our wedding anniversary, August the 17th, 2019. And I'm thankful that we are joined together as a beautiful couple, as a beautiful marriage. And I can only give thanks to God for, just being a light for us, and being for us to be centered, have God in the center of our marriage. And so I'm very thankful. That's really what I wanted to share. I wanted to share our anniversary, which we just had, of 17 years, but I also wanted to be able to give you some background information on what led up to that 17 year. So y'all can do it, okay? So let me know down at the bottom in the comments somewhere, how you doing? What's going on in your relationships and everything? Until next time, have a good one.